My name is Patricia Torres Ray. I am a state senator in Minnesota. I represent a district that is predominantly middle class, highly educated, and very engaged in the legislative process. I am dreaming of that day when more women of color, more indigenous women, and more immigrant women are elected to office. I think there will be a dramatic change in the way decisions are made, and this country will move. Women want to change things. Women want to see a future that is different. You see this profound impact and this profound desire to make change, transformational change, not just make a transaction, but transform the way we do business in each and every area of policy. We need people who are thinking in terms of inclusion and convening in order to bring these voices that have been so absent from these places. I think that those are skills that I constantly see women developing and bringing to the table and to the process, and that will make a significant difference in my opinion. It is difficult to say that one thing will spark your desire to run for the Senate. What helped me decide was really my frustration with what was not happening with government. The voices of the people that I care deeply about were not represented in government. I felt there was a vacuum and a lack of presence of people of color at the legislature. When I went to participate in the legislative process, I was often the only person of color in the room. The perspective of communities of color and indigenous communities, people with disabilities, LGBTQ people, have been absent from these tables of power for generations. We need to be able to respond to some of the most challenging problems we face in the state of Minnesota. People may not know that in the state of Minnesota, we have the greatest disparities in the country. People look at Minnesota as a very progressive district that has the resources to take care of its people. We have some of the best indicators of well-being. Yet when you separate people of color from these statistics and indigenous people, you see that we are the worst in the nation. We need to address that problem. And I believe that people of color who are elected to public office bring that perspective. And I believe that when you don't have a life perspective, you cannot bring that perspective to the conversation. It is not within you to be able to talk about what that perspective is, what that challenge is, what that history is. We bring that to the table. I have a number of bills that I have authored over the years that really reflect the values that I bring and the priorities that I bring to the legislature. The examples of women leaders and how they are having real impact is something that we are seeing. We are not imagining. When you think about Alexandra Ocasio really challenging the House of Representatives to change the way they have done business for many, many years, you realize that women of color not only bring a perspective and history, but they are determined to use that perspective. We see these women making change and bringing us this hope and this vision for this new day. We just need more of them. We need to get behind them. We know what they are doing. We know what they are capable of, and we know the future that they will bring to this nation. So what we need to do is have the tools, build the tools, equip these women, not only to get the work done, but also to inspire other women to follow.